Greetings from Whammy at Surprise Lake Camp in Bayside, not in Brooklyn. Many things come to mind when I think about camp. All the people and friends and everyone that has made camp such a wonderful experience. Without camp, I wouldn't have my wonderful family. My wonderful son who's busy doing this videotape because Steve Video just wasn't able to get it right, but he's putting it together at the last minute. Thank you, Steve Video. Good luck in Vietnam. First thing that comes to mind, and I did enjoy all the suggestions that you sent. Thank you, Facebookers and friends. Number one, I think I was called into the director's office for every director I've ever worked for with some of the strangest questions. Question I got from one of the directors was, Whammy, who told you you could have a pig in camp? Well, I guess, Jerry, nobody told me that we couldn't have a pig in camp, but that's just another one of my many Whammy stories. Another director said to me, Whammy, if you do that, even I can't help you. Thank you, Cheryl. Carol, you were the director for a short time. At this point, I'm going to play that I can't remember a great quote you gave me, but I'm sure I'll remember it for the party. And we all stretch. My time in camp is stretch. I like that. 40 years. And I touch people from the 70s who have been back in camp in the 50s, like Harry Vogel, who's like 1,000 years old. And I've learned a lot from Harry Vogel. I've learned rule number one, stay active every day. Kind of the way camp has made me stay active. Let's go to some of the other requests that people asked me to talk about. My days as nature boy. I love my days in nature. That was before there was ever a Teva. No Teva, just Whammy and Marge and nature. And we had a lot of fun there. We had snake feedings whenever possible. We'd catch things in the woods, we'd feed them to the snakes. And then we'd let the snakes go and usually sing Born Free as the snakes left. Adele, who I believe I did marry at age 7. She was 7 at a Camp Carnival once, and you're sitting here watching this. It wasn't a legal marriage, number one. And number two, I'm sorry I never did get to give you a fly on a string. A strange Whammy invention where flies were actually tied on the foot. And they would be buzzing around, and campers would be walking around holding a string with a fly on it. Crazy stuff. Overnights. I always love visiting overnights. Always love spending time in the woods. That's why I'm the hiking guy now. And great thing about spending time in the woods, visiting overnights, yeah, Mike, visiting overnights is I always got to build the campfires and get those fires started, because unfortunately some of the people from Brooklyn or Co-op City even back in the day were not able to build fires. Snakes. People loved holding snakes. And somewhere out there, I'm sure there's pictures of me putting a snake around people's necks for the 70s, 80s, 90s, zeros, and 10s. It's pretty awesome. I get to go on the hikes now with your children or our news campers, and we're sitting around and they go, Whammy, how old are you now? I go, I'm 27 years old. They go, but Whammy, you worked in camp with my dad. One of the great miracles about camp being a time warp. And time stands still. Nobody gets older as long as they're in camp. Kind of like a Shangri-La. Benmo, Matt, Teva, and Brett. We had a great adventure together.